Today I had you guys submit your assumptions about me and we're gonna go through them on stream right now. I'm curious what you guys have to say. I tweeted out the link for submissions for this about an hour before we started the stream and we got over 1,500 submissions. I have not looked through them, so I don't even know what to expect, and we're definitely not gonna be able to get to all of them, but we're just gonna scroll around and pick some random ones, okay? I feel like we just need to start here because this one submission was submitted 6 times. 6 times. It's actually at the top of the Google Forms because 6 of you guys wrote the same exact thing. You sleep with socks on. Why did 6 of you guys submit this? Well, no, I don't sleep with socks on, actually. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but personally, I can't sleep with socks on. I don't know, I think it's like uncomfortable as f. You've had lip fillers done. Just curious, to be honest. Wait, do you guys actually think I've had lip fillers done? Am I giving that vibe? Yeah, I have never, but I will be honest, a couple years ago, I'm not gonna say who my friend was, but a couple years ago, my friend and I were going to go get lip fillers done. I swear to God. Like, we had it planned out to go, and she went to the appointment and got it done, and when she came back, I saw the, like, solid pieces in her lips. Like, there's kind of, like, a solid, like, piece in your lips when you get lip fillers. And I backed out. I was like, I'm not doing it, I'm sorry. And so yeah, no, I've never had lip fillers done. I also don't feel like you'll ever guess this person who I'm talking about, so I don't even feel bad saying it. And I don't think it's a bad thing to get any work done, but no, I have not gotten them done. People with blue eyes be like... I've scrolled past a bunch of these already, actually. You're never returning to your main channel. Ooh. You are never returning to your main channel. Ooh. Ooh. No, I do plan on returning to my main channel. Yes. The best way that I could put it is I started posting on my main channel when I was 12 years old, which at this point was like, oh my God, that's actually crazy. At this point, it was like 14 years ago. So I'm 26. So it was a long time of posting on YouTube. I did it for over 10 years consecutively, every single week. So I just wanted to take a break and try something new. So I moved over to Twitch and I do plan on posting on my main channel again. I actually have some projects that I'm working on and some ideas, but I'm just taking, I think, a well-deserved break because yeah, I posted on there for a really long time and I started to feel like just not as creatively challenged anymore, and I wanted to try something new. So I felt like Twitch was a really good fit for me because honestly, it's just different. Like, live streaming is so much different than posting videos. Stop, and one of these says you're a burglar based on the outfit. Maybe I'll answer this. I think this is really mean though. I'm like hesitant to answer this, but I've scrolled by it a couple of times. So I will address this assumption because I don't want this to be something that people think, like, I don't understand this. You low-key can't stand Ricky. I don't understand why any of you guys would write that. So I'm gonna keep it 100% real right now. I'm going to address this because that's the point of doing this video, I guess. Ricky is literally, quite literally, like my best friend in the entire world. Like, in the entire world. I love him so much. I could honestly cry talking about how much I love Ricky. So this is absolutely not true. We've been friends for so long. He's like one of the only people like in my life that I feel 100% comfortable around. Yeah, I have no idea like if these are like troll submissions or what, but I have scrolled past like 3 of them now and I just don't really understand why that is a thing. So I'm gonna just come out and say that is so, it could not even be farther from the truth. You partied a lot when you were younger. Oh my God, do you think I did? Okay, so as you guys know, I I moved out to LA when I was 17. So, yeah, I did party a lot when I was younger. To be quite honest, I partied so much when I was younger that by the time I turned 21, I was like just done drinking, and I don't really drink anymore at all. Because I'm just kind of over it. But I feel like that's kind of like weird coming from me, just because my online persona when I was younger was a little bit like cleaner. Not really for any particular reason, to be honest. It just kind of was, I don't know, I think I just started YouTube so young and I was posting videos every single week that it kind of kept me boxed in, and it made me feel like I was unable to grow as a person. It's really hard, I think, when you're a teenager and you're like growing up and literally becoming a human, but you also are like posting stuff about yourself online. It's hard to like kind of figure out like who even are you and what version of yourself are you going to post online, because how do you even know who you are at that point? Does that make sense? Like when you're 17, you're like so underdeveloped like as a person. So when I look back at like my YouTube career or just my career in general and what I would like post online, I just felt like boxed in by the idea of having to like be a person online, and felt like unable to grow. I think probably a lot of like child actors or other social media people who were popular when they were younger probably could relate to this, because it's just this like weird thing of like, at what point do you grow up? Oh, I've got a lot of these. I've seen a lot of these. You want to move back to your hometown. Honestly, no. I would never move back to my hometown, but I would buy a house there. I would. I really want to buy my mom a house, and that's kind of like my next thing that I really want to do. I don't know. I love to visit. It kind of makes me feel so connected with like my inner child to go back to my hometown, but I just don't think I would ever live there. In terms of moving out of Los Angeles, I don't know. I mean, I always wanted to live somewhere else. I've always really wanted to live in another country or another city at some point, because I've been in LA now for 10 years. Almost 10 years. I've been here for, I think, 9 years, but I don't know. I've always wanted to try living in another city, but I do own a home here, so I am pretty like locked in here for the time being. I feel like moving out of LA permanently and like selling my house would be definitely a big choice that I would make, that I'm not really thinking about. I do like LA. I feel like a lot of people have bad things to say about it, but I really feel like I have such a network here. Like I have so many good friends and people I consider family out here, and I just know so many people, and I would feel really uprooted if I left, I think. So I said you drive the same in real life like GTA. Guys, I think I would have lost my license. You low-key like to be alone. Yeah, I do like to be alone. I really enjoy being alone. It's not low-key. The people in the chat saying low-key? Question mark? No, it's high-key. Honestly, I think it might be because I was an only child. So growing up, I spent a lot of time by myself. So I'm really comfortable being by myself, and I like to be by myself. I like that time alone. 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 On a scale from extroverted to introverted, I'm definitely on the introverted side, but I'm not like all the way on the introverted side. I definitely get to periods where I'm like, okay, I need to hang out with someone or see someone. Like, I don't want to be alone. But I'm more of an introverted person, for sure. You aren't upset that foursome ended. Oh. I mean, I was upset that foursome ended, but I also wasn't. I don't know how to put it. It was like bittersweet, right? Because we went for 4 seasons. So I figured it was gonna come to an end. Usually I feel like high school shows, it's really hard for them to last more than 4 seasons without the plotline getting like really drawn out, because you're only in high school for 4 years. So I felt like, yeah, it was just kind of time that it was over. But that being said, it is probably one of my favorite projects that I ever worked on. It is definitely my favorite acting role I've ever had, and the people I worked with on that project are so amazing. Seriously feel like a family to me, and that whole experience was just so much fun. I loved getting to spend time with those people every single day. It truly was the best. Like, I have nothing but positive feelings surrounding the foursome era. It was just such a good time of my life. But it was time for it to come to an end, I think. It was time. The plot had like stretched far enough, and we ran for 4 seasons, which was a really long time. Yeah, I think we kind of all expected it was coming to an end. In fact, kind of like insider info, I guess, we all thought the show was over after season 3. Like, we didn't think we were going to get a season 4 at all. So the fact that we did get season 4 was really great. Like, it got to be extended a little bit longer, but we all thought it was over after season 3. So kind of yes and no. For almost an entire year, I assumed you were vegan until I watched your recent cooking stream where you made chicken. And I deadass still thought you were vegan up until the end when you literally started eating the chicken. Don't ask me who I thought the chicken was for, because I don't even know, LMAO. I got this so much. Everyone thinks that I'm vegan for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if that's like supposed to be a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I don't really know what that means about me as a person, but I'm not vegan. I really like cooking, and I'm very like passionate about food. Like, food is one thing I will spend money on when I'm traveling. Like, I will go eat at a really nice restaurant, or even in LA, I love to eat at really nice restaurants. And I feel like it's just hard, even in LA, like, to be vegan or vegetarian and really like experience like a full menu at a restaurant. I don't know, but I do not always eat meat all the time. Like, I easily go days without eating meat, but I don't want to like ever restrict myself with what I'm eating, because I just love food so much. Like, I want to be able to try everything, and I love cooking so much. I want to be able to cook anything. It's kind of interesting. I've never heard it like put like this. I think most people assume that you're a private person, but I feel like you are the complete opposite, but that you just have to take your time sharing things. This is kind of interesting. Why is this low-key deep? I am a pretty private person. Like, I appreciate my private life being private, but at the same time, like, I want to keep it really real, and I love to share things with my audience and be like as genuine as I can. But I think basically there's like a boundary line. I think a lot of people who do social media could relate to this, because it's kind of an interesting thing where you're putting so much of yourself on the internet. So where is like the line, right? Like, where's the boundary line of what are you going to keep to yourself versus what are you going to share online? And I think now, at the point of my life that I'm in now, after sharing so much of my life online, I do sometimes feel like a little bit resentful that I did grow up so publicly. So I do like appreciate my privacy. So I don't know if I would say I'm the complete opposite. I think I am kind of like a private person, but I do want to, I want to keep it real, you know? Like, I want to keep it as real as possible while still like maintaining a boundary. Okay, I'll answer this one. This is kind of tea. Ooh. You wouldn't actually want a viewer to come up to you in public, which is very valid if true. Ooh. Thank you for saying that's valid if true. I love the fact that you're validating any response I may have to this, but it's not true. I actually really do like when people come up to me in public, because you guys are always like really, really nice and like respectful, and it's just always been a positive experience. Like, I can't really think of a negative experience where someone has come up to me. I feel like you and me, like, we're similar. So when I do meet viewers in public, it's just a good experience. I honestly would rather you come up and say hi than just like stare. I think that's one thing that I don't personally like, but I do understand why people do it. Cause like, if I saw somebody that I maybe recognize from the internet, I probably would be staring a little bit, because I'd be like, is that who I think it is? Or maybe I would be nervous to go up and say hi, or maybe I wouldn't want to like bother the person. So I understand why people do stare, but I have to let you in on a little secret. Like, I think a lot of people who get recognized in public would probably agree to this statement. Like, we know that you're staring. Like, I like can feel it. I feel like it like burns like a hole in my face. Like, I can like feel the eyes on me. And so it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I'm like, oh my God, like, I just feel like this person's like staring at me right now. But I also don't want to be like, oh, this person's staring at me and being like conceited about it. But I feel like you kind of get like a sixth sense. Like, you kind of know when people like recognize you and are staring. So it's kind of like an odd feeling, but at the same time, like I do understand the other side of it and why you would do that. But if you do see me, you can totally come up and say hi. I would love that. Oh my God. That you're hot, sexy, cute, funny, and cool, and crazy, and amazing, and jaw-dropping, and yeah. Oh my God. Oh, you guys, this is true. This is true about me. Stop, why does it make me laugh out loud? You look like the type of person to say toodaloo as you leave a room with no one in it. Ooh. There have been times that you've gotten high before streaming, but didn't tell us.
I'm so dead BC, I didn't think these would all be serious, so PLS ignore my assumption about toenail clippings. THMK really.
No. Never, you guys, never. If I'm ever high on stream, like, I feel like it's like when I'm drinking one of those weed drinks, but I like say that I'm drinking one. But no, I never am secretly high on stream ever. In fact, that sounds like maybe my worst nightmare. I think it would make me extremely paranoid and anxious to be high and streaming to like over 1,000 people. It just would like, I don't know, I think I would be like fucking freaking out. You aren't afraid to fight, and you def got into many fights when you were younger. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? No, I've never gotten into a fight in my entire life. And actually, I feel like I would be really afraid to fight. I like actually could not even imagine getting into a fight. Like, I'd be so afraid. I'd be like, please don't punch me in the face. Ooh, this is tea. If it wasn't for COVID, you wouldn't have taken gaming and Twitch as seriously. Yeah, this is true because I actually don't even know if I would have started streaming if it wasn't for COVID. Right before the pandemic, I was really transitioning into doing a lot of travel content, which is like such unfortunate timing because then we couldn't travel during the pandemic. So yeah, it left me kind of in this spot where I was like, well, what do I do now? Because I was in the middle of really transitioning my content to something else, and then suddenly I couldn't make that transition anymore. So I decided to start streaming, and I actually don't think I really would have if it wasn't for COVID and the pandemic. Now I really enjoy streaming. I love streaming so much, but I do want to transition into doing less gaming content because it's kind of another thing. I feel like during the height of the pandemic, I was playing like a lot of video games, but in my average like day-to-day life, I don't play too many video games. So I'm really trying to transition into some more like non-gaming content, and I have a lot of really fun ideas for that. You didn't want to come out because you wanted to force yourself into sting a guy. And to sting a guy. No, well, actually, I identify as bisexual, so I am attracted to men and women. I came out in my personal life when I was about 19 years old, but I think back then I was kind of like unlabeled, but I never really said anything online because I don't know. It feels like something that doesn't need to be like a big announcement. I always felt like a lot of pressure to, I don't know how to put this. In my personal life, I didn't like have like a big announcement when it came to how I identified. So I kind of struggled with that on the internet because I was like, well, I want people to know that I'm a queer person and that I identify as bisexual, but I don't really know how to do that because I don't feel like it really needed to be like a big announcement or was anything like groundbreaking. So I ultimately actually did end up posting a video doing an assumptions video where I addressed that. So that's how I ultimately like addressed it on the internet. But no, this is not true. I assume you, Jacob, and Ricky don't hang out that much outside of streaming. Well, Jacob lives in Nashville And Ricky and I live in Los Angeles. So unfortunately, the three of us don't really get to hang out that much outside of streaming because Jacob lives in a different state. But Ricky and I do hang out a good amount. He's probably one of the friends that I see the most often. Ooh. You're lying about your age and are actually 45. Oh. Oh. Oh, I hope I look like this when I'm 45. No, I'm 26. I don't even know if I want to answer this. It's so juicy. You regret going public with your relationship. Oh, that is juicy. The chat made me laugh. This is actually crazy. No, I don't regret it. I've been in a couple of relationships before this one, but this is by far my most serious relationship, so I do not regret it. The only thing that I want for my relationship is just like privacy to be respected, basically. You have a secret Instagram account. No, I don't. I don't have a secret Instagram account. I only have my Instagram account, and now I have the Time Being account. Well, I actually have one more account on Instagram. But that one is to test out the pictures that we're gonna post on Time Being before we post them on there, because I'm not the only one running the Instagram for Time Being, so it's an easy way to like test the pictures going up on Time Being and everyone being able to look at the account to see how it will look and be like, yes, that's good. No, let's try something else. I guess then technically I do have a secret Instagram account. It's that one that I just told you. Someone says you wish Jacob lives farther. Lives farther away than he already does? Why is that so funny? You purposely tank in games. Oh, this is how you know it's bad, you guys. I'm so bad at video games that people are out here thinking that I'm purposely bad at them. This is not true. I'm never purposely bad at games. You don't spend money because you're scared one day you won't have it. I would like to think that I'm pretty smart with my money because, yeah, I do have this fear. Of course, social media is not guaranteed. What I'm doing, like, there's no set amount of money that I'll be making. You know, I don't have a yearly salary, whereas someone who has a typical job would have a yearly salary. So I always keep that in mind. I keep the fact that I don't really have technical like job security in the back of my mind. So I do try to be very careful with my money, and I try to plan for the future because you never know what's gonna happen. Social media could theoretically be banned tomorrow. That'd be fucking crazy. Imagine if that happened. But it theoretically could happen. And then what would I do, right? So, I don't know. I always just have to keep that kind of stuff in mind, and I try to plan for my future accordingly. You're secretly a robot and sit and recharge till the next stream. I wish that happened. You got kind of popular in school because of your YouTube. Unfortunately, I would say no. I definitely was not popular at school. I don't think I was like a total fucking loser, but I kind of was. Back when I was in high school and I was doing stuff on YouTube, it was like 2012, 2013. It was just like out of the ordinary, so people thought it was weird, and people thought I was weird. But when I started to get popular, some people thought it was cool, but I think like overall people didn't really like me. I'm not quite sure what their opinion is of me, but I did get like bullied a little bit. Like I remember specifically the first time someone from my school, to my knowledge, found out about my YouTube channel, they posted one of my videos on Facebook onto someone else's wall. And they were like, is this that girl from our school? And it was like a link to my video. And it was just like on Facebook, like on like the fucking feed, like on the friend's wall that they were posting on. And I remember just feeling so embarrassed and like humiliated at the time. And they were all like laughing about it in the comments and stuff. So some things like that happened to me at the beginning of my YouTube career that made me feel really embarrassed. Then I think I became a little bit closed off. I just felt like people thought I was weird, or I felt like people were making fun of me. I tended to stick with my friend group and just like stick with them. And it probably is part of the reason why I like literally developed social anxiety, because I would go to school every day feeling like people were talking about me or like ridiculing me, just making me feel uncomfortable. But that was so long ago now. None of that even matters anymore. I am curious though how like different it is now, because it seems like everybody has social media and everybody posts on TikTok and stuff like that, and they're all like in school. So I'm so curious like what it's like now. You secretly hate Taylor Swift, but you know your chat would rip you to shreds if you ever said that. Oh my God, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. No, actually, okay, I'm actually glad someone said this. I'm glad someone said this because I would love to set the record straight, okay? I do not hate Taylor Swift. I'm far from hating Taylor Swift. In fact, I don't have anything negative to say about her. But I feel like people are such huge fans of her, and personally I just have never gotten into her music. It's just not the type of music that I listen to. My favorite genres are like R&B and rap and psychedelic and alternative, like stuff like that. So I just don't happen to listen to her music. I do feel like when everyone starts talking about Taylor in the chat, like I feel a little bit left out because of how little I know about her. So I'm like, oh, I can't participate in this conversation because I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I like look at the chat when I'm talking about Taylor Swift and I'm like, I can't even begin to participate in this. But no, I don't hate her. I don't hate like any celebrities. I don't feel like strongly about any celebrities like that. My favorite artist though is SZA. That's my favorite artist. I love her so much. Well, you guys, those are all of the assumptions I'm gonna be addressing today. Hopefully you learned something new about me. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this and if you wanna see me do it again, because we got so many submissions. Like I really only scratched the surface, so I could definitely do it again. Also, just let me know if you like this type of content in general, because I really love streaming this kind of stuff, and I have a lot of ideas for this kind of submission-based content because I really want to get you guys involved in more of my streams like this. So just let me know if you enjoyed this. I'm very curious, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, YouTube.